Thank you. Thank you for that amazing introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So just to start off, the MSME sector in the Philippines is 99.5% of registered businesses. There are about 1 million registered businesses. 995,000 are micro, small, and medium. They contribute about 35% of GDP, and they're about 65 to 70%, about 68% of employment in the country. So if you look at the banking sector in the Philippines today, there's about 20 trillion in assets, which is about $320 billion given today's exchange rate. About 10 trillion is lent out to large corporates. Only 180 billion, which is about $3 billion, is being lent out to the MSME sector. So there is a huge gap in the MSME sector in the Philippines today. We're also the lowest in the region. So if you look at corporate debt to GDP, we're still under leveraged compared to our ASEAN neighbors. It's at 16%, and SME loans to total loans is less than 9%. So it's less than 1.6% of GDP. 90% of these loans are actually in Metro Manila and the Calabarzon region. Less than 10% are outside the national capital and Calabarzon region. So this is a huge undertaking for the Land Bank, the DBP, as well as the development finance sector to really try and be able to help the MSME sector. We were set up in 2011 to really service the 1 million registered businesses. The microfinance side is covered by CARD, who are the largest microfinance lenders in the country as well. Most SMEs have a 27-day cash buffer. So their working capital needs as well as their asset financing needs is a huge issue, and the commercial banks aren't meeting this issue, and it's really up to us as development financial institutions to be able to service the sector. Over the last 10 years, we've done about $2.4 billion in releases to 100,000 businesses. We are the largest in the SME space. It is a profitable business. We have an ROE of about 25%, an ROA of about 15%. During COVID, we changed our credit standards to be able to, number one, accommodate a fully online application. We look at 6 C's of credit rather than the 5 C's. So character, capital, capacity, condition, collateral, and COVID. How these guys change their businesses or transform their businesses to digitalize their processes and transform their businesses to be able to accommodate the digital age. We've also implemented work from home credit processing, where we were able to actually operate completely on a work from home basis. We use OCR from Indian companies and Indian partners to be able to do our bank statement as well as cash flow analysis online. Today, Esquire's portfolio is about 37% in Metro Manila and 63% outside Metro Manila. It is as diverse as the economy. So if you look at registered businesses and you look at our clientele, it mimics registered businesses. We're doing most of our client acquisition online today using third-party providers as well as social media platforms. We're doing most of our processing online today using OCR and a completely digitized application processing system. We've come down from a 100-branch model to a 3-branch model, but we're doing much more in volume than we were 10 years ago. So despite reducing our physical footprint, we've been able to increase our digital footprint significantly. So our tech partners are, of course, all of the social media platforms as well as Google Ads to be able to acquire leads online. We use a lot of third-party systems to be able to take care of loan management systems, HR systems, CRM systems, as well as SMS and mobile integration systems. Our funding partners, of course, include the Land Bank and the Development Bank of the Philippines, who are our partners for the MSME sector. And we also acquire most of our funding from the local banks. Our latest funder was the IFC, and we thank them for their funding for women in business. It's a specialized line for women entrepreneurs in the Philippines. Thank you very much. With that, I'll pass it back to our moderator.